Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Man, it feels like just yesterday we were all worried about what kind of avocado toast was too extra, right? Simpler times. But today, we're diving into something a little different. We're talking about the top 10 things the pandemic, that thing we're all ready to be over, totally and completely ruined. Buckle up, grab your tissues, and maybe a stress ball because we're going in. Let's get started. Alright, let's kick things off with travel plans. Remember those? Remember meticulously planning that dream trip to, like, Fiji? Or maybe just a weekend getaway to that cute little town you read about? Yeah, the pandemic said nope to all that. Suddenly we went from wanderlust to staring longingly at our suitcases in the attic. And don't even get me started on those travel credits. Trying to use those is like playing the lottery, but instead of winning money, you win another year of waiting to use them. Rough times, people, rough times. Next up, we've got social gatherings. Remember those? Remember cramming into a friend's tiny apartment for a party? Or celebrating a wedding with 100 of your closest strangers? Yeah, those were the days. The pandemic hit the pause button on all of that. Suddenly, we were all experts in Zoom calls and virtual happy hours. Don't get me wrong, technology is great and all, but it's just not the same as awkwardly hugging your great aunt at a family reunion, you know? Here's to hoping we can all go back to complaining about crowded parties and awkward small talk soon. Alright, let's talk about work-life balance, or the lack thereof. Remember when work stayed at work? Pepperidge Farm remembers. The pandemic turned our homes into our offices, our kitchens into conference rooms, and suddenly our sweatpants became our work uniform. Sure, working from home has its perks, like not having to commute and being able to wear slippers all day, but it also means the lines between work and personal life got blurrier than my vision after staring at a computer screen all day. Chapter 4. Education schools out. Forever? Next up we've got education. Remember when school meant actually going to a building and trying not to fall asleep in class? Yeah, those were the days. The pandemic turned our kids into homeschooling pros, sort of, and our teachers into tech wizards overnight. And let's be real, online learning has been a roller coaster ride of emotions for everyone involved. From technical difficulties to the lack of social interaction, it's been a tough adjustment. Here's to hoping we can all go back to complaining about homework and early morning alarms soon. Chapter 5. Small businesses, the heartbreakers. Okay, this one's a little more serious. Let's talk about small businesses. You know, those mom and pop shops, the local restaurants, the places that make our communities unique? Yeah, the pandemic hit them hard. We're talking about businesses that had to close their doors, some permanently. It's heartbreaking. So next time you're thinking about ordering takeout, consider supporting a local business. They need our love now more than ever. Chapter 6. Mental health, the silent struggle. Alright, let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention, mental health. The pandemic has been tough on everyone, and it's okay to not be okay. The isolation, the uncertainty, the constant fear-mongering on the news, it's enough to make anyone feel anxious, stressed, and just plain down. So if you're struggling, please reach out for help. Talk to a friend, a family member, a therapist, anyone. You don't have to go through this alone. Okay, let's be honest, how many of us let our fitness routines go out the window during the pandemic? Yeah, me too. With gyms closed and nowhere to go, it was just too easy to trade in our workout clothes for sweatpants and our treadmills for the couch. But hey, at least we perfected our sourdough bread making skills, right? Chapter 8. Alright, let's talk about live events. Remember concerts, sporting events, Broadway shows? The pandemic hit the pause button on all of that. Suddenly, our favorite bands were doing live streams from their living rooms, and our sporting events were happening in empty stadiums. It just wasn't the same without the roar of the crowd, the energy, the excitement. Here's to hoping we can all go back to shouting ourselves hoarse at concerts and spilling beer on strangers at football games soon. Chapter 9. Okay, this one's a big one, the travel industry. Remember when you could just hop on a plane and go somewhere? Yeah, those were the days. The pandemic grounded planes, closed borders, and turned our passports into expensive bookmarks. The travel industry was one of the hardest hit, and it's going to take a long time for it to recover. But hey, at least we can dream about traveling, right? Chapter 10. And last but not least, let's talk about personal milestones. Graduations, weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, all those special occasions that mark the passage of time. The pandemic may have forced us to celebrate them differently, but it didn't make them any less meaningful. Sure, Zoom graduations and drive-by birthday parties aren't ideal, but they're a reminder that even in the midst of chaos, life goes on. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hey, let us know in the comments how the pandemic has affected you. We're all in this together, right? From canceled travel plans to the weirdness of virtual happy hours, we've all been through a lot. But hey, at least we have each other, right? See you next time.